was doing nothing but telling the truth. I heard her say it, and I repeated it. I'm grown, and I do what I want. You know who I am. I'm Jackie Christie. That ain't gonna change.
When Jackie Christie thought things couldn't get any worse in her $300 million divorce from Doug Christie, Doug decided to play his last card, and it was explosive. Because this time, he didn't just respond to Jackie's claims, he leaked everything. Private messages, legal documents, emails, all suddenly found their way online, and what they revealed shocked even Jackie's biggest supporters. It turns out the story behind this divorce was far from what anyone bought. Jackie painted herself as the heartbroken wife, betrayed after years of loyalty. But the leaks told a different story, one that exposed hidden money, secret deals, and years of quiet resentment that had been boiling behind closed doors.
These lunatic, jughead, simple had the audacity to say what?
That you were caught shooting some back in 1987 or something back in the day.
Ask me, and I'll tell you no. I done a lot, okay? But prostitution ain't one.
So what really happened between Jackie and Doug? Why did Doug leak those files now, after months of silence? And how did a marriage once seen as unbreakable end up as one of the messiest divorces in Hollywood history? Let's break down how a $300 million settlement spiraled into chaos, and why both Jackie and Doug might never recover from what came next. For years, Jackie and Doug Christie were seen as the perfect power couple. When people talked about love and loyalty in the world of basketball, their names always came up first. They were inseparable. Jackie showed up to every single game, cheering for Doug from the stands like his #1 fan. She wasn't just a wife, she was his business partner, his protector, and his loudest supporter.
But you better keep your ass in that feet tramp. That's what you better do. You right, Dumbo ears. Yeah, I got a lot of husbands about these ears. Get a husband. That 48-year-old been working. You right.
Doug, on the other hand, made it clear to the world that his wife came before everything, even fame. Remember those interviews where he said he wouldn't even make eye contact with other women out of respect for Jackie? That became one of the most talked about things about him. To fans, it looked like the ultimate sign of love and loyalty. To Jackie, it was proof that her husband truly belonged to her, heart, mind, and soul.
Keep doing this. I think it's beneath me. The truth was put out there. You hear my side and that person's side. And here we are having to address it yet again. Despite all the accusations, I still hold out hope that we can move on like grown women.
But behind all the public smiles, their relationship wasn't as perfect as it seemed. People close to them started whispering about how intense Jackie's control really was. Some said she managed every move Doug made, from his business deals to who he spoke to. Others claimed Doug had started pulling away years before, quietly growing tired of always living under Jackie's watchful eye. Still, they kept their image strong. They made it look like nothing could shake their marriage, until that one moment changed everything.
$20 and you better take this mother money. Anybody got a molly up in here? Anybody got a molly for this? Let me find my $20. Hold on, unwrinkle that for me, will you, OG? Let me put my lipstick back in my purse, cause this hoe needs some money with my old ass and my big ears. Get that bitch that $20.
The cheating rumors. When whispers surfaced that Doug might have been unfaithful, Jackie didn't take it quietly. She went public, something no one saw coming. And that's where everything started to unravel. Because once that story hit the headlines, there was no going back. Their marriage turned from private love to public drama overnight. Jackie didn't just accuse Doug of betrayal, she demanded justice in the most shocking way possible. She filed a $300 million lawsuit against him for spousal support, claiming she had sacrificed everything for his success. In her mind, Doug owed her more than gratitude. She said she had given up her own dreams, her own career, and even her peace of mind to build him into the man the world saw. She called herself the backbone of his career, the reason he even had that platform in the first place. It was emotional, powerful, and for a while, people actually sympathized with her. Fans saw her as the devoted wife who gave everything to a man who turned his back on her. But then came the court's decision. The case was dismissed almost instantly. No trial, no payout, no sympathy from the judge. Doug had shown up with receipts, bank statements, emails, business records, everything he needed to prove that Jackie wasn't the financially struggling woman she claimed to be. The documents showed that Jackie was far from broke. In fact, she had multiple investments, thriving businesses, and properties in her name. The court ruled that she wasn't entitled to any spousal support, not even close to what she was demanding. It was a huge loss for Jackie, and from that day, things got ugly. Doug went silent after the win, refusing to speak to the press or post on social media. But Jackie, she went into full defense mode. She claimed Doug had lied in court, manipulated evidence, and silenced her truth. And for months, the internet was divided. Some believed Jackie's heartbreak, while others sided with Doug, saying she was just trying to cash in. But then, just when the world thought it was over, Doug broke his silence. Not with words, but with leaks. Late one night, files started surfacing online. Private emails, screenshots of text messages, and even audio clips allegedly from Jackie's phone calls, all hinting at a side of the story nobody saw coming. According to the leaks, Jackie had been planning her lawsuit months before the breakup even happened. In one email, she allegedly told a friend she was collecting proof and that she knew exactly how to make Doug pay. In another document, there were details about secret bank accounts, money that Jackie had allegedly hidden overseas. Fans were stunned. Was this the real Jackie Christie? The same woman who claimed she gave everything for love? The same wife who said she just wanted justice? The leaks didn't stop there. Doug's team reportedly shared recordings where Jackie could be heard discussing using the divorce for publicity. In one clip, she allegedly said, "People love a comeback story. They'll see me as the strong woman fighting back." Whether those recordings were taken out of context or not, they exploded across social media. Suddenly, the narrative flipped completely. Instead of seeing Jackie as the victim, people started calling her manipulative, accusing her of turning her marriage into a storyline for fame. Doug never confirmed directly that he leaked the files, but everyone knew they came from his side. And while he stayed quiet publicly, the damage was already done. Jackie's reputation took a major hit. Brand deals pulled back, TV opportunities froze. Even some of her close friends reportedly distanced themselves from the chaos. It was heartbreaking, but also revealing, because buried in those leaks were hints that this wasn't just about money, it was about revenge. Behind the smiles, Jackie and Doug's relationship had apparently been falling apart for years. Friends described their marriage as competitive, not loving, but strategic. They were always trying to one-up each other, both emotionally and professionally. Doug felt controlled. Jackie felt unappreciated. Instead of healing, they started keeping score. Every argument turned into a power struggle. Every success became a reminder of who owed who more. And when their communication finally broke down, all that was left was resentment. So when Jackie filed that $300 million claim, Doug didn't just see it as unfair, he saw it as payback. And the leaks? They were his way of showing the world who he thought she really was. But here's the twist. The leaks may have hurt Jackie, but they also raised serious questions about Doug himself. Because in trying to destroy her credibility, he also exposed parts of himself, secrets that painted him in a darker light too. In some of the leaked messages, Doug appeared controlling, even cold. He talked about monitoring Jackie's spending and keeping her in check. In one text, he allegedly wrote, "You wouldn't have a brand if it weren't for me." That one line went viral, and just like that, sympathy started swinging back toward Jackie. It was now clear, neither of them was innocent. This wasn't a story about one villain and one victim. It was about two people who loved each other so deeply that it turned into war when that love ended. The emotional toll was enormous. Jackie, who once walked red carpets with confidence, now looked tired and distant in public appearances. Insiders said she barely spoke to anyone and spent most of her time alone, trying to rebuild her brand. Her social media posts became vague and emotional, filled with quotes about betrayal, forgiveness, and starting over. Doug, meanwhile, seemed to bury himself in work. He started doing interviews again, but not about Jackie. He talked about healing, focus, and moving forward. Still, people couldn't ignore how cold his silence felt. After everything, he hadn't once expressed regret or compassion publicly, not even when fans asked if he'd gone too far with the leaks. The emotional fallout didn't just affect their image, it touched their family too. Their children, who had always seen their parents as a strong team, suddenly found themselves stuck in the middle of an online firestorm. Friends said the kids were devastated by how public everything had become. And the saddest part? Jackie and Doug, who once promised to protect their family from the spotlight, had now turned their entire marriage into a public battlefield. It was painful to watch, and even more painful for them to live through. Because in trying to destroy each other, they'd both lost the one thing they used to value most: peace. Today, months after the leaks, the dust still hasn't settled. Jackie's legal team is reportedly exploring action against whoever leaked the files, claiming they violated confidentiality agreements. Some say she's even considering reopening the case, not for money this time, but to clear her name. Whether that's true or not, one thing's certain: she's not backing down quietly. Doug, on the other hand, seems ready to move on. He's kept his distance from the media storm, focusing instead on rebuilding his career and staying out of drama, at least publicly. But people haven't forgotten. Even if he won the legal battle, many feel he lost something deeper: the moral high ground. Because once you air someone's private life, there's no going back. You can't undo that kind of betrayal. And that's what makes this story so tragic. It's not just about money. It's about how love can turn into a weapon when pride takes over. How two people who once built each other up ended up tearing each other down in front of millions. The truth is, there's no real winner here. Jackie's reputation may never fully recover. Doug's image as the loyal husband has vanished, and their legacy, the one they built together, has been permanently stained by leaks, lawsuits, and lies. But maybe that's the lesson here. When you mix love, ego, and money, there's no easy way out. Sometimes the people who once protected you the most are the same ones who end up hurting you the deepest. And for Jackie and Doug Christie, this $300 million divorce didn't just end a marriage. It exposed everything they'd tried to hide for years. Because when the truth finally comes out, it doesn't just break hearts, it breaks everything. So what do you think? Did Doug go too far by leaking those files? Or was he just defending himself from Jackie's accusations? And do you believe Jackie was really after justice or just revenge? One thing's for sure, this story isn't over yet. And if Jackie's cryptic posts are any clue, there's more truth waiting to be uncovered. So stay tuned, because in Hollywood, no secret stays buried forever.